everyone, and welcome to another section of Fact, Issues, and Reality. Today with me, we have an amazing guest in the person of Professor Cody Bayi. Professor Bayi is a professor in the Department of Chemistry at Auckland University, Rochester, Michigan, in the USA. He completed his BSc degree in chemistry from the University of Bui, Cameroon, and he moved to Finland, where he completed his MSc in nanoscience and his doctorate in organic chemistry from the University of Jyväskylä, Finland. He spent time at the University of Jyväskylä first as a postdoctoral researcher and then as an Academy of Finland postdoctoral fellow, which is a highly prestigious award in Finland. Shortly after, he moved to Aalto University as a research associate at the Department of Applied Physics. And in 2017, he later then joined the University of Windsor in Canada as a visiting professor. In 2018, he started his independent career as an assistant professor at Auckland University in Michigan, USA. Dr. Cody also spent time as a guest researcher, scholar at the Kekulé Institute of Technology, the University of Bonn, Germany, the University of Berlin in Germany, and the University of Texas in Houston, USA. His multiple scholarly activity gained visibility and was recognized by the 2021 ACF PRF Award and several internal awards such as the Provost Faculty Research Fellowship, Research Excellence Fund, Black Faculty Association Summer Research Award. Dr. Cody has an impressive record of training students at the BSc, MSc, and doctoral levels. Dr. Cody has over 64 scientific peer-reviewed publications, book chapters, and patents. Just recently, Dr. Cody was recognized as an emerging investigator by the American Chemical Society's Crystal Growth and Design. Please join me to welcome Dr. Cody Bayi.
Thank you very much for that brilliant introduction. I am extremely happy to be here, and it will be a pleasure for me to discuss my career with you today.
Thank you. It has been so good expecting you, and I'm so glad you made it. So how have you been?
Pretty good. Well, coming out from the COVID-19, things are getting to some kind of a new normal now, yes. So it's a good thing. So right. I'm happy that we are out and about again.
Yes, I'm also happy that we are out and about again and able to do a lot of, indoor communication rather than Zoom, online emails, and what have you. Oh. So as you know, we're trying to showcase the Black people in Windsor, in Windsor especially, because what we're trying to do is show to the world, show to the city of Windsor, show to the government of Canada how we as Black people are able to integrate into, a new country, a new city, and how we're able to break into the social, economic, and even the workspace. And that's why we're having this interview, and that's why you're here on board with us. So again, I say welcome, and at this time, I would like you to state your name for the records, please.
All right, my name is Cody Bayi, but I go by simply Cody. Most of my friends just call me Cody, and I like to be addressed as Cody.
As Cody, okay, yeah. So it's Ngong. Say the first one.
It's Ngong. The N is kind of silent.
Ngong. Okay, so where exactly are you from?
I was born in Cameroon. Cameroon is a bilingual country, so I was born in the English part of Cameroon and did my studies there before moving to Finland.
Oh, okay, so you have the bilingual, that's the English and the French.
That is correct.
Okay, but you were born in the English, so you speak nothing of French then?
I speak a bit of French, which is rather common in Cameroon, that if you're from the minority, you tend to learn the other language. So I'm not that fluent in French, but I can communicate in French as well.
Okay, so just as you said, you were born in Cameroon, you did most of your growing up in Cameroon, then you moved to
Finland.
Yes. So when exactly did you relocate to Canada?
In 2017, that's when I relocated to Canada, and I've been in Canada ever since.
Since 2017,
since 2017.
So you relocated with your family or just you alone?
I came first alone, and a few months later, my family joined me. So we're here.
Okay, so how has it been so far?
It's been crazy. It's
Did you say crazy?
Yes, it's been crazy. So I I wasn't well prepared when I came to Canada. So there was an opportunity for me to come here as a guest scholar, as a visiting professor. But all along, I've been trying to look for a career for myself in North America. So this opportunity to move to Windsor was a very good one. So I seized upon that, and I kind of made a irrational decision at the time to take the whole family with me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So making the first year a little bit of a challenge. But then we have tried and we've navigated that process, and we are relatively comfortable now.
Oh, that's good. That's really, really good to know, because I see that a lot of people that take that same, irrational step do come here and kind of regret the first few years, are troubled, traumatized, and sometimes it doesn't end well. Sometimes some people are able to break through with the help of others. So I'm glad you really did. So how are the children settling in? How do they like the environment?
The kids love it here. They do. I have 4 kids. I have a daughter who is in the Toronto area. She's actually a student, an IT student at Brock University.
Oh, great.
Yeah, she's in her 20s. She's a big girl. She's on her own, doing quite well. I'm proud of her. Then I have 3 sons. So a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 1-year-old. All right. It's a bit tough with a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
But the 7 and the 10-year-old, they love it here. Yes, they love it here. They are really into many activities. They love the language. Finland was a beautiful country, but the language is a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do we compare the two with them? So, how do they do they prefer it back in Finland, or do they like it here?
I think they were so young when they moved here that they don't know the difference.
They won't really understand.
Yeah, they don't know the difference.
Yes. Okay, so right now, what do you do in terms of work?
I'm a chemistry professor at Oakland University in Rochester, which is about 30 minutes north of Detroit. Quiet and peaceful area. So I've been there since 2018, and it's nice. They've been nice to me.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know. So Rochester, that's in Michigan, and you live in Windsor. So you have to commute every day from Windsor to Detroit, going through the border, and you have no issues, no problems.
I have a few comments on that. So first, Rochester in Michigan, not Rochester in New York.
Okay.
And also, I'm at Oakland University in Michigan, not Oakland in California.
In California.
So that is a disclaimer,
Yes.
So yes, I do cross the border every day. Not necessarily every day, but most of the time. Sometimes it's challenging, sometimes it's easy. Now that I've been at Oakland University for all these years, it's easy to cross the border. Now the only issue I have is the traffic, not really the border agents. But at the beginning, sometimes, it's a little bit of a challenge,
Yes.
Yeah, so I can tell you a very quick story. Like, where were you born? In Cameroon. What passport do you hold? Finnish. Where do you live? Canada. Where do you work? The US.
The US.
That's all too complicated.
That's a man of many nations and tribes, eh?
Yes.
Oh, that's good to know. So from your biography, I did read that you were in the University of Windsor as a visiting professor. How was that for you?
It was a breakthrough in many different ways, okay? Number one, I got a feel of the Canadian educational system, and I was here on a work permit.
Okay.
It was a short-term stay, so I was kind of limited with opportunities, but what University of Windsor offered me was to see the educational system in North America, because the Canadian system is similar to the US. There are some big differences, but there are a lot of similarities. So that gave me the platform to expand, and I think that it's by being here in Windsor helped me to get the position in the US.
In the US,
so it's kind of all connected.
Good. So that's like an eye opener and like a stepping stone.
Yes.
But I would ask you, in the University of Windsor, were you accepted? Did you feel accepted?
No, that word accepted is kind of, you can break it down in bits and pieces, right? The group where I was working, they accepted me.
Okay.
I still have a very strong relationship with University of Windsor. We still collaborated today. We still have joint publications today. As we speak, there are some students in the University of Windsor that are working on some of my own projects.
Projects, great.
So we still have a brilliant relationship. So in that sense, yes, I was accepted.
That's good. That's really, really good to know, because I've had a lot of people that would say no. I wasn't accepted due to my color. I wasn't accepted due to gender. So it's really good to know that from the University of Windsor, even just as a visiting professor, you had a strong connection, and you still, till date, keep strong connections with them.
And that's why, I mentioned that the word accepted there is in quotes, because it also tests your resilience. I think that I felt less pressure because I had traveled quite a bit. So I faced all kinds of scenarios in Europe, in the US before, because I spent some time in the US at the University of Texas in Austin. So I had a little bit of a higher threshold. All right? Okay. So it doesn't mean it was plain.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't just smooth. So there were some challenges. Actually, there were quite many challenges. Just that after all my years in Europe, I knew what I wanted.
Exactly. You knew what you may be expected.
Yes.
So you were prepared and ready for it. More like a thick skin. Whatever comes out.
I had a thick skin. That's a good. That's a good phrase.
Great,
yes, I had a thick skin.
And I think that's what a lot of us as Black people do not have, do not expect, never experience because of our level of exposure. And so when you come in and you're hit with something that to other people is normal, you get this kind of feeling that what's going on, and kind of get like distracted or you don't just want to go on with that. So I think for you, maybe your level of exposure didn't make you look at that as a challenge, but made it look more like I would say something you had to get into, break into, to be able to get your first stepping stone.
It was a challenge, but I used that challenge as an opportunity.
Great. That's really good. So using your challenges as an opportunity. Oh, great. I like that. So I'm going to ask you, for what we're trying to do, we're trying to let, people know what we face as Black people in lands that are really not ours. We came in, we migrated, we integrated, we were hoping for so much to happen. But along the line, things do happen that, we didn't even prepare ourselves for. So I'm going to ask you, have you ever felt any form of discrimination, any form of, like segregation, harassment, say as a Black person at work?
You feel that all the time.
Hold on. It may not even be at work. Just around.
All the time. It's always there. It's how you deal with it.
Exactly.
It's always there. I'll give you a couple of examples professionally and also in the society. Number one is that when I came to Canada, my goal was to get my professorship in Canada. But even though it wasn't said impossible, but the systems were in place to make it impossible.
Yes.
For example, in most job descriptions, they will say everyone can apply, but priorities will be given to what? Canadians, yes. I was not a PRO, I was not a Canadian. So what does that mean? Technically, you're out. You understand? So I submitted, I still, with my threshold, I still use that and I still apply for positions. And guess what? I got only one interview in Canada, multiple interviews in the US.
Oh, wow.
The same CV. You understand? So that tells you a lot.
Yes.
So there was that limitation. There was that barrier for somebody like me to get into the system. And that is, in my opinion, quite unfortunate.
Yes. So are you telling me now that the opportunities opened more in the US, I won't say for people of color, I would just say for immigrants, than here in Canada?
Big time. That's my view.
That's your view.
And my life story tells that, because you may say that for every one job in Canada, there may be 10, 20, 50 in the US.
In the US.
So statistically, it could be that there are just more opportunities in the US. But my view is that once you have something like that in the job description, that's already a limitation.
Yes. Because it's impossible to come in and be a permanent resident straight away, or a citizen straight away. I mean, we have to start from somewhere. So yes, I agree with you. And it just takes us back to a lot of things that I have had to do research on how people do come here, like doctors, like lawyers, like accountants, with so much degree, so much qualification, and still have to go back to the very beginning. And even with that, they still don't get the positions that they feel their qualification deserves.
I live with one at home. My wife, he seems like you're just telling the story of my wife. She's
Wow.
a nurse, she's a registered nurse. She obtained a nursing degree in Finland, a country where the healthcare system is extremely respectable.
Yes.
The educational system is extremely respectable, but Canada never accepted her degree.
Wow.
Till today.
Wow.
So that tells you of the limitation and the challenges that we face. So even though I had that challenge, and the US gave me the opportunity, my wife in the same scenario, and after 5 years, she's still fighting with the system. So there's something, in my opinion, that blocks immigrants from
getting there. In your opinion, what do you think can be done, should be done, a way forward?
A lot of these are political decisions, right? So I put that under protectionism, right? I will not want to use the word racism, but I'll put that under protectionism. So they are trying to protect the system, but the COVID-19, for example, exposed the limitation of the system. Now they are trying to make rules to manage a scenario, things that they could have done many years ago. So they know there is a fault in the system. They are aware there's a fault in the system, but it's the political will to change it that is the problem. So if there is a political will, change can be made. I think Canada is a beautiful country.
Yes.
I just think they have to make it a little bit more accessible for immigrants.
Accessible and accepting. Yes, I agree with you. Because I also have a friend, and for over a medical director, not just a medical doctor, he ran his hospital, and he came to Canada, and it was a no for him. Took all the, kept taking the exams over and over for 10 years. 10 years, but gratefully now, he's been accepted and started his work as a medical doctor. I know it's tough. It's tough to break into the workspace, especially for, career people like you. But I'm glad that you were able, somehow to get there. So how has it been? The environment, even in the US, in Windsor, how has it been for you?
My employers, they have accepted me. We have at Oakland University an association called Black Faculty Association.
Oh, great.
So even though the population of black folks in Michigan is 13%, at my university, we only have about 4% of black professors. So now we have this association to highlight that, to build. And I can mention that in my department, I'm the only African.
Oh, wow.
So that tells you that there is still steps to go.
Wow.
All right. So, but then I use this, like I said, I take every challenge as an opportunity.
Yes.
I encourage Africans or Black Americans to take the challenge. You see the wall, don't use it as a blockage. Use it as a stepping stone. It is possible.
Yes.
Yeah. So you face those challenges, you can fight it, and there are ways to fight it. And my story is an example of how I've been fighting and where I am right now. I'm actually an executive member of this Black Faculty Association. So we are really trying to engage the society, engage the community to encourage fellow immigrants, especially African Americans or Africans, to take up these challenges.
That's good. What about in the University of Windsor? When you were there, did you have a lot of black faces there as well?
No.
There
were quite few.
That's in your department or in the university as a whole?
I was at University of Windsor only for 1 year.
Okay.
So not a very long time to be exposed.
Yes.
And at the time, I was really focused because, like I said, I made an irrational decision to bring my whole family here, so I had to focus
on settling them, right?
To step up. So I wasn't looking around too much, but I saw very few in the department.
Wow.
I could count actually. Not up to 5.
As professors?
No, I'm talking about students.
Even students?
I'm talking about students, not professor. Professor, there was 0.
There was none?
No African, yes, no black professor.
Wow.
And if my memory serves me right, in the chemistry department that is, I think there are still no
in the chemistry
black
department.
professors in the chemistry department
Wow.
at University of Windsor.
Wow, it's kind of sad because this is supposed to be the most diverse city in Ontario.
That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. And still, we still find ourselves, looking around, and there are a whole lot of people with a whole lot of education, whole lot of degree out there still struggling and not getting these positions. I hope somehow, someday, the city, the government, and a whole Canada's policies can somehow be tweaked a bit to be able to accept and accommodate, a lot of immigrants.
That's how I feel. So I feel that there should be a political drive on one side, and then there should be a personal drive on the other side. Now the personal drive are now 2, the immigrants, and 2, the Africans, to take that as a challenge. So as an educator and as a researcher, that's what I do. I do have Africans in my lab at the moment, and I'm encouraging them to be, as a matter of fact, my doctoral student who will be defending his PhD next year, he already got a position at the national lab.
Great.
That's an extremely prestigious position, but I work with him hand in hand to ensure, he's from Ghana by the way, hand in hand to ensure that he gets there. So that's some of the things that we can do to encourage the society, to encourage our own folks to go out there, see the challenge, don't let it stop you, use it as a stepping stone. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's possible.
It is, yeah.
But my personal opinion is that political drive will make it so much more easy. So I think that the government has a big role to play. And I'm really hoping that they are listening to us.
I hope so too. We'll try so much hard. Keep pushing harder and harder till we get there. I just wanted to ask you, with everything you've gone through, been able to break through, how can you help the younger ones coming in? If there's a way, if people reach out to us, we need people to help us. We want to achieve our doctorate, we want to achieve our PhD, we want people to support us. How can they be able to, or can you, or would you be able to help them?
3 different continents, so I have a lot of expertise on some of the things and how you can navigate them to be successful. Yeah, so I'm always willing to do that. I'm always willing to do that, and I'm open to that.
Thank you so much. I know that after this, a lot of people would want to reach out. We'll try and connect them with you, and hopefully, get them started on this, the journey of success. I want to use this video to thank you so much, Dr. Cody. I am certain that somewhere, somehow, must have learned a thing or two, inspiring, motivating, and how to start up their journey of success and be able to take something from this edition. Thank you all guys so much for this section, for staying tuned. I just want to encourage everybody to keep knowing your facts, understand the issues, and focus on reality. Till we meet again next time, it's bye for now.